showing out, making moves, no doubt. FFA pride, it's what we're all about. From classroom dreams to real world flair, we got the stories you won't find anywhere. Beyond the jacket where the stories unfold, voices of the future, fearless and bold. Tune in now, let the passion ignite. It's more than a jacket, it's a way of life. Beyond the jacket where passion meets purpose.
Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is a special one, rooted in tradition, community, and a whole lot of heart. Today, we get to chat with someone who knows all about leadership, service, and pride in Iowa, being a voice for a tradition that means something deeply personal to so many people. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the journey, where it started, and what it's like to step into a new role, what it means to represent something bigger than yourself. Welcome onto the podcast, Riah. We are so excited to chat with royalty today. Why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners and to us as host?
Yeah, so like she said, I'm Riah Schrage, and I'm a senior at Grundy Center High School right now. So I'm formerly the Grundy County Fair Queen, and then now I'm the 2025 Iowa State Fair Queen. And so I get to do lots of fun stuff with this role. And FFA, as far as that goes, I've been an FFA, and I'm a chapter officer, and I've competed in the National Talent Show, so that's something that was a super fun experience. And yeah, I'm super excited for this year of being the queen and see what that all holds.
Oh, I love this. I love that we're talking especially with a fair queen, because I am somebody, and I feel like Paige honestly is probably also in the same boat, because growing up, I showed cattle very much, and so did Paige. And so fair was like my Super Bowl every year. So
fun.
I always loved getting to go to fair. So what did the fair mean to you growing up?
Yeah, so I've been a part of our county fairs for as long as I can remember. We always participated in the static projects, so doing all the crafts and stuff. And I think I made a rug and it got a blue at the state fair when I was a kid, so that was super fun. But it was just always a family experience. You know, we're always last minute putting the projects together, and Dad's out there with a drill doing something. You know, we always got something getting thrown together. But we actually live across the street from our Grundy County Fair. And so when we were younger, that was super fun, just running back and forth basically to get cash for concessions, I think. Or my mom got real sick of that, I think. But yeah, super fun. And then the state fair, we went pretty much every year. I've been going for as long as I can remember. And we always go with our grandparents. They're always there and trying the new foods and stuff. And my mom, she usually will have a plan for us so we can do as much stuff as we can in one day. There's so much to do there. And then recently, the last few years, we've been a part of the Bill Riley Talent Show. So me and my brother and my sister did it for 1 year. And so that's been another fun experience, getting to do that there too.
Wow, you're very involved. And of course, I can attest to what Lacey said. Definitely is the Super Bowl. I'm sure you can definitely relate to that as well. Well, with such involvement in the fair and just enjoying it and soaking it all in with your grandparents and family, when did the idea of becoming the fair queen enter your mind?
Yeah, I think it was something I always grew up kind of knowing I wanted to try. It was something I was going to do. So my mom was actually Butler County Fair Queen, and then she got first runner-up at the State Fair Queen contest. So she would always talk about it, and, you know, she has her tiaras. She'd get those out, and we would see them. It was super fun. And just seeing pictures and hearing her stories. As a little girl, just hearing that was super exciting and something I always wanted to do. And then being at the State Fair, and, you know, if you can see the queen, it's so fun, and seeing her, it was always something I dreamed about doing, but I don't think it was something I ever set in and realized, oh, this is something I actually could do. But yeah, so then the applications for Grundy County Fair Queen came around, and I was a junior, just finished junior year at that time. And so I was like, oh, I'm a little young. I don't think have a really good shot of getting it. But my mindset was like, I'll have good practice of interviewing for next year. Hopefully I'll get it then. And then I got it, and I was like, oh no, this is my one chance for State Fair Queen now. So being young, I just really tried my best. I knew I had to give it all I had, and here we are today. But yeah, it was super fun to be there with my mom too and share that experience with her.
I love that it's kind of like a little bit of a tradition there. Like you have to kind of look up for it, seeing your mom's tiaras and being like, I want to wear one of those one day.
Yeah.
Walk us through the process of becoming Iowa State Fair Queen, because I'm sure that is a lot more intensive than just a county queen.
Yes. So you do have to win county queen first. So my county queen was just one interview and then an application. And so then they announced that, and you're there for the week, as county queens are. And then I had 1 week turnaround, and then I went to the state fair competition, and there was 102 girls there this year. Sometimes they have a few that can't quite make it. But some counties have 2 fairs. So that's how they get more than 99. That always got me too. There's always people that ask that. But we're all there in the one hotel, and you have 3 other roommates with other county queens. And it's such a unique experience because no one there has ever done this before. Like, this is everyone's first time. So you're all kind of going through it together. And then there's a long interview, which is a 5-minute one, a short speed interview, a group interview, and then 2 on stage, like speaking and modeling type of things that you do, and you're judged on all that. And then just like the judges are always walking around, and so you always kind of want to present yourself in a good way and without being too like fake or that kind of stuff too. It's a lot of pressure. And so it's for, let's see, I got there on a Tuesday, and I got crowned Saturday night. So it's a long process, and you're getting, our last 1-minute interview was, I think mine was Saturday at noon. So it's all the way up to the coronation. You're going through the ringer, but an application process as well, and write an essay before. But it's honestly very character building. And if you are, like, I would say to anyone who's considering doing it, I would say go for it, because it's such a good experience, and you make so many friends. Like, I have a girl who wasn't even my roommate, and we're like besties now. Like, it's so fun to still talk to her and catch up with her. But yeah.
I love that for you. And I love that there's such a community, and kind of like you said, it's everybody's first time. So yeah, you might be nervous, but the girl standing next to you is just as nervous as you are, if not even more.
Yes, for sure.
It's a special connection opportunity. I know there's lots of ebbs and flows to a process and interviews and things like that. What was something that surprised you the most about this experience?
Yeah, I would say just like how tough of a process it was. I had heard mixed things actually from my mom. She said it was super fun and she loved it. And then our past county queen was like, yep, it's difficult. Like, be ready. And just being judged that whole time, it's a really different and unique experience. And I don't know. And the amount of dresses you have to get. You have to get a lot of dresses for the competition. And so it was a lot of fun though. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I bet that would be so fun. I cannot imagine being able to get to be a part of that. There's one thing I kind of regret as I have gotten older is not ever pursuing something like that. I think I only tried to apply to being a beef queen one time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like the runner up, and I was like, oh, damn. But the question I had was, obviously with you talking about how, it's like a 5-day event, I feel like there's probably a lot, but were there a few moments you can really point out that really challenged you, or was something that was like out of your comfort zone or that you maybe weren't expecting?
Yeah, I guess I would say the speed interview is definitely different. I mean, the questions are like really super unique because they just want to see how you can talk, how you can answer things on the fly. And so one of the questions was, if your life was a book, what would the title be? And that's a really interesting question if you think about it. And you could go so many different ways, but I would say the speed interview it was unlike something I've done before, I would say.
And now I have to know your answer to that question. What's the title of your book, girl?
I think I said like service, because I was like really doing like community service and stuff, singing, and snacks because I like cooking. So that was what I gave him, a little alliteration there. But
listen, as somebody who actually has wrote a book, coming up with the title was difficult. So like,
yes,
I can't imagine being put on the spot. Those questions are always the hardest too, when it's like, they're so thought provoking and they're really fun questions. But when you're put on the spot, it's like, don't ask me that.
Yes, for sure.
Was there any preparation that you were able to kind of use, other than obviously I think that going for your county so soon before the state was definitely helpful, but it also seems like it was a very different level of intensity. So do you think there was other factors that really helped you prepare to apply for Queen?
Yeah, I guess preparing, I kind of just took that week, just kind of looking at, some kind of generic interview questions, just making sure you're getting your words straight and your stories right. And just kind of, I think it's good to practice a little bit for an interview. I mean, obviously you want to be natural, but you do want to make sure, like, what are the most important things I want to talk about, or the things, because the interview is only 5 minutes. So you have 5 minutes to get out what you want them to know. So that too. But I also say that preparation for something like this definitely starts like way before even just applying, like the things, leadership roles you've done in your life, any community service, anything like that. If you're considering doing this, again, like if someone's listening and wants to do that, I would say just start getting into those roles, doing those things, starting projects that would just be good to talk about in an interview and stuff like that.
I know when you did your introduction for the episode, which you're such a great speaker, Riah, and we talked to a bunch of FFA kids, and Lacey attests all of them just being phenomenal, which I totally agree with. Is there leadership roles like in the FFA that you've been a part of as a chapter officer that helped you prepare for these interviews? Or maybe did Fair Queen help you prepare for FFA? Was it kind of like a seesaw where they both balanced each other out?
Yes, so I actually had just done my interview for chapter officer like just a few months before County Queen interview. And so that was like a really good experience. And that was an interesting one because we had our current FFA president and vice president in that interview too. So you're interviewing with your peers, which was kind of, that was different. It's a lot of pressure, but that was fun. And then I got out of my interview and they were like, hey, you actually like did a pretty good job interviewing. Like, here's, are you considered county queen and stuff like that? And I was like, yep, that was something I was already thinking about doing. And so that was fun. That kind of got me ready for that. And then just being an officer has been a blast. I've loved every minute of it. And we have a lot of seniors officers right now. So we're all kind of bonding over that too. But yeah.
I think the biggest question of hearing you talk about being queen and everything has to be, what was the moment like when they announced your name? Like, can you even like put it into words how you felt in that moment when you heard your name and you knew, oh my gosh, I am now going to be the 2025 Iowa State Queen?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, going into the competition and even that last day, like just looking around, everyone's backstage in their dresses and you're just like, there is 102 girls here. Like how, there's no way that I'm ever going to win this. You just start getting, I mean, every single one of those girls is fully qualified and just amazing people. And so just in the competition, even you're thinking that too. So I was sitting there and just kind of waiting, and they called, the leaderships and the personality, and then they started going down the runner-ups. And I honestly was like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't think I'm going to really get this. Like, I'm looking around and I'm like, they're about ready to announce the queen. And I'm just kind of like, I wonder who it's going to be. Like, I don't know. I had no idea that it was going to be me. And then she said Grundy. And I was just like, no way. Like I literally just sat there frozen. The girls beside me, who was actually the girl I was talking about earlier, she like had to shake me. It was like, it's you, like stand up. Like, you have to go out there. And so even in the video, it's funny because you could just see me like sitting there, not moving. But it was just crazy. I mean, I was just crying. I was so excited. I mean, something you've dreamed about since being a little girl and it comes true. I mean, it's just a surreal experience. But
yeah, I want to share
Rachel.
something about Riah getting this position. So on TV, they showcase like all of the queen coronation. And so at the beginning of the queen coronation, there's quite a few speeches. All the girls walk out and they have these pretty dresses on. And then they sit down and the state fair president gives a speech. And I think the past queen gives a speech. Ellie gave a speech. And then there's a couple others. And I remember texting my mom. My mom's on the state fair board for background for everybody. And so I can see her on the stage in the corner sitting there. And I texted her and I said, I could have called that without even meeting her. She was the only girl to smile the entire time during all of the speeches.
Aww.
So I remember watching you on TV and getting elected, I guess. I'm not sure if it's elected or crowned is probably the better term. But
yeah.
When you're watching, my mom and I are always texting, like I'm texting her updates of what I'm seeing on TV of like who my guess is, because normally I watch it with the rest of the state fair board, and this past year I didn't, so I had to watch it from home. And so they're always all chatting about who they think it's going to be and the girls that they've met throughout the week and the ones that have made a positive impression. But Riah was the only girl on the entire stage that smiled the entire time, no matter what. And I thought that was so impressive. And so I just wanted to give you a kudos on that. And that was a really cool moment to see from the other side of things as somebody watching.
Yeah, well, thank you. It was actually interesting sitting there because I had a little inkling because the judges were staring at me the whole time. It was so funny. Like they'd watch someone come in and then back to me. And even the girls sitting beside me were like, they were like watching you the whole time. So I was like, making sure I'm still smiling, like it's over, but I'm just like, keep a smile on your face. But no, it's just such a fun experience being up there and all those girls you got to know. And it's sad because like they're all going their separate ways and everything, but it was super fun.
Yeah, the coolest part is that all of these girls, like you said, are new to this program. They only get to go through it once in their lifetime. And especially if you've run for your county fair queen and you didn't get it, I was one that never got to experience this. And so hearing about other girls go through the experience, my sister got to go through it and absolutely loved it. And so it's really cool to see the impact it has on young leaders in our community and in our state and who they become afterwards. You know, I look back to some of the queens that we've had in the past and like, just the coolest alumni of this program that we have in our state. So that's really cool. But I want you to share a little bit about some of the leadership you do outside of Fair Queen things. I know one of the things is that you teach music to younger students. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yes, for sure. So I teach about 15 kids a week right now of piano or voice lessons because music is something I'm very passionate about. I love music, love singing. I play a little piano, so I can enough to teach kids piano. And so they're super sweet and so much fun. And my future plans is to major in music education. So this is something just getting me ready for that. But I've been teaching them since the summer, so I had to take a little break for State Fair Queen. And at the contest, they asked you what one of your goals was. And so I had said that my goal was to teach young kids the importance of community service because that's something that's very important to me. I have over, I think, about 850 hours of community service right now. And so I just wanted to get them that experience, like you can do this too. And it doesn't always have to be just going to serve at a already existing organization, which is wonderful, but you can start your own thing too. So I started Joy Through Music a few years ago where I go and sing. I took my siblings with me and we go sing at some nursing homes and just sing for the residents. And so this fall I took for the first time, I took all my 15 kids and we went and did a little recital for all the nursing home residents at our Grundy Center assisted living. And it was so fun. And the kids loved it and the residents were clapping. They loved it too. And so we're going to go back in March is when we have our next recital there. So it's super fun. And I'm actually talking on tomorrow at our elementary about philanthropy. That's their like word of the month right now. And so I'm going to give those students a little shout out, but that's super fun.
That's so cool. And especially love the name of it, Joy Through
Thank you.
Music. And you brought those residents so much joy and that's so special. And I'm sure your role comes with so many different responsibilities and things that you have to do to really incorporate your passions throughout that is amazing. I know before we started the podcast, you and I got to chit chat for a little while and I got to know more about you. Let's talk about your personal music experience, especially being able to sing on the national stage. That is so impressive because I can't carry a tune in a bucket. So I really think you need to tell our listeners about this.
Yes. So I love music. Like I said, I'm always looking to do stuff. So when I found out I think last year that FFA has a talent show, I was like, oh yes, this is for me. This is what I need to be doing. So I sent in a video audition and then I got accepted to sing at the Iowa FFA talent show. And so then I sang there and I remember they called my name that I won and I was just like, oh, awesome. That's great. I wasn't even expecting that either. And so then that automatically qualified me for national FFA talent competition. And so I got to go to Indianapolis and our first round was 50 people. And then it was all just in kind of a private-ish room, like the parents could come in and watch. And there was a lot of other parents in there too. And then the judges. So we got to sing for them. And then I actually made the top 10 from that, which was super fun. So then I got to sing in Lucas Oil Stadium on their big stage, which was crazy. That was wild experience, all the lights and everything is so big in there. But unfortunately I didn't make it past that, but I have a bragging right now. I sang Lucas Oil, so I just like to talk about that too.
For sure. No, that's awesome. And I know those lights. I'm sure you got up there to sing and you were like, oh my gosh, I feel like a major star. What song did you sing for the FFA members?
Yes, so the first round I did Feeling Good, like a Michael Bublé version. I kind of rewrote it, like redid it a little bit for my own version. And then at the top 10 one, I did a little version of Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis. So that was fun.
That's great music variation. I know those are both good songs, especially the one by Elvis. I'm an Elvis friend, and Emma that we had on the podcast a couple weeks ago, she was an Elvis fan, and it's really inspired my music variation for sure. So you're a chapter officer. You did national talent. You're the fair queen. Who is Riah beyond all this stuff? Man, you're busy, girl.
Oh, yes. Well, like I said, I'm still a senior in high school, so all the fun that comes with that. And some people will say, like, how do you balance being Riah and being queen? But I think I really try to just make both the same. I don't want to enter the queen role and it's not me. Like, I still want to be myself and still, like, I'm still being this leader and doing the service and all that stuff. So, yeah, I like hanging out with friends. I sing on our worship team at our church. So I've been doing that for 5 years now, and that's something that's super special to me. I enjoy doing, and a lot of music everywhere. But
I think something that I'm really curious to know is what other responsibilities, going back to being the Iowa State Fair Queen, what responsibilities do you have? Because I know that it's something that isn't just the week long, like your county fair.
Yes, so I'm there. I got crowned Saturday night, and then I came back Sunday at 2. So it's quick turnaround, and then I'm there for the week. And then the rest of the year, the nice thing about this program is that you kind of can make it what you want it to be. Like I can do things like this. Like if people ask you to, you can talk at, like I'm talking at elementaries. I've visited a couple elementaries, just in classrooms, and then I've done a couple like projects, led a couple service projects as queen. So you can really kind of take it whatever direction you want to. But in the summer, that's when you travel to county fairs. And so there's not a number they require you to go to. That's like a common misconception, is that they have like a set number you have to get. And that's not it at all. It's kind of go to whatever you want. But there is like this running record with the queens of like how many they've been to. And I think Ellie last year got 77 county fairs, which is insane. That's a lot. It's like going to, I think it's like 3 to 4 fairs a day in the summer. So we'll see what I can do. I'll try to catch it, but I'm not sure we're going to pass that this year.
That is a lot. That is a lot to take on. Well, since you kind of get to make it your own, how have you defined your role with having the sash and the crown?
Yes, I think I'm really trying to stick with what I had said in that interview, which was like teaching kids about community service, keep doing that kind of stuff. That's something that's really important to me. So I brought my kids to the Joy Through Music thing, and then I did this Christmas service project that I had been doing for a few years, but I was able to raise a lot more money to bring toys to kids in the hospital on Christmas, because the story kind of behind that is I spent my first Christmas in the hospital with a heart condition. And so my parents had said that people had brought them gifts and it was super special to them. And so just something I kind of wanted to reciprocate to them as well. And then I'm judging a pageant in a few weeks, like a Royal International Midwest, I think it is. But my goal is to say yes to everything I can. You only get 1 year, so to keep doing all the fun stuff and I can relax later, but
yeah, relaxing later and just keep your foot to the pedal, and just soak it all in like a sponge and still enjoy your senior year of high school. Holy cow. I mean, yes. I can't imagine being in your shoes right now. That's quite a role to fill. As your time in Fair Queen, you've done a lot with philanthropy and, of course, community service, working with a lot of people. What is something you want viewers to remember about your time in the Crown?
Yeah, I guess that, and also just like when I talk to them and that kind of stuff, just that they can see I truly care about them. I try to be very real and really care about people. And I love talking to people and hearing their stories. And so if you ever meet me or ever see me, please come say hi. I'd love to talk to you. But just remember me as someone who like used this crown to stand up for something bigger and to use it to make a positive difference.
I love that. Are there any interactions or like conversations that you've had with people that have like really stayed with you?
Oh yes, there's some fun little kid ones. The little kid ones are the best conversations to have because they're so cute. When I was county fair queen, so Grundy County queen, I had a little girl and she had to be 3 or 4, and she came up to me with her mom, and her mom was like, this girl woke us all up in the camper at 5 a.m. and started screaming, I want to meet the queen right now. And they're like, she's not up yet. Like, she's not here. Like, go back to bed. And so then we got a picture. We met the girl. It was all good, but that's so cute. And then another time as I was state fair queen, this little girl came up and asked me if I lived in a castle. And I feel like that's a very natural question you ask someone with the crown on. But of course I said yes. And so we went along with the story, but the kids are the best part. They're so fun. And it's just like a reminder, like how many little kids are watching and looking up to you, and like just to be that good role model for them.
For sure. And I think a lot of people in service roles kind of forget about the little kids, and it's so important that you recognize them and invest in them too. And I think that's so special. And of course, your bubbly personality. I mean, kind of like Rachel said, you haven't lost a smile the whole interview, which I love. I love a good, joyful person, and you just exude confidence and happiness, which is infectious for all of us here on the podcast today. But I definitely want to know how those conversations and time with different people of different perspectives has even changed your perspective on the role of Fair Queen.
Yes. Yeah. I've had so many good conversations, and just being at the state fair and hearing like people's stories that come in from like states and states away. And like, even like there was someone I met who was from like Vermont or something and already knew me. I was like, what? Like, how did you? He's like, yeah, I saw it come up on my feed. I was like, okay. But just meeting so many people and just realizing like how much the state fair is such a special thing for people like all over the country. And like, it's so cool to just be a part of that, and something that like brings so many people joy.
How does this experience fit into your future plans? Like, if you had a little bit of inkling of what you think you want to do you think that this is something you're going to keep like pursuing? Do you think that this is just a stepping stone to get where you're wanting to go? Like, what are some future plans for Riah?
Yes. So I'm a senior, so college is next. So that will be a quick transition this year, I guess, from the state fair to college. But I'm planning on going to music education. And so obviously that's a lot of talking and a lot more kids. So just keeping those same qualities that I'm just working on getting better at as being queen, and keeping that going into my future. But also I'm just super excited to be part of this like state fair queen sisterhood that is there. So I have a chaperone or mentor right now who's a 2023 queen. And so I'll be a mentor for the 2027 queen. So it goes every other year. And so she chaperoned me last year, and she's going to chaperone me this year. So then next year I'll get to go back and be a chaperone for her, and then her the year after that. And then also, if you're a past queen, you get to still come back and chaperone the queen competition and just be there with all the other state fair queens. So I remember being at the competition and just seeing that energy between them. And I was like, oh, that looks so fun. But I'm just excited to get to be a part of something so cool for like the rest of my life.
Absolutely. No, that sisterhood and girls supporting girls and just being a positive light for those around you is definitely one of the best goals you can set for yourself. Is just bettering yourself and bettering those around you. We had an episode earlier that our guest Artha talked about just being able to be that ripple effect of the light, and you totally are, Riah. You just exude confidence, kind of like I said last time. But I have to know, what's a piece of advice you would give to a girl that wants to be the next state fair queen, or even maybe some of those littler kids that have looked up to you and even think you live in a castle?
Yes. Well, thank you. I would say to anyone considering it to just do it. Even if you don't win your county queen, you've already gained an interview experience to either help you next year or just help you in life. Like, doing interviews is such a good skill to have. And just learning to build like a resume. My mom is a business teacher, and so she build a resume, know your brand, all that stuff gets said a lot in my house. So just doing things that can help build your leadership skills and give more community service to give back. That's such already a skill to have, and it's super fun.
For sure. Well, Riah, we have loved having you on today, and loved, for me, especially from Florida, learning about your time as the Fair Queen and your amazing abilities vocally. So as we wrap up today's episode, there's definitely one thing that's clear, that being the State Fair Queen isn't just about wearing a crown, it's about showing up and leading with service. So Riah, it was so nice to meet you. Listeners, make sure to like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to be on the jacket. And we can't wait to see you next week.